Peace, peace.
Hey,
What's up, y'all? It's Ariam,
and Yodit.
and you're tuned in to deuxsol Radio.
That's right, your favorite twins are back, talking all things music and culture.
Because 2 takes are better than 1, but twin takes
Are even better.
And we're back with another episode here on Revolt Podcast Network.
Yes, happy to be here, and happy Sunday to those who are listening and watching.
Yes.
We have been taking in so much content that we want to talk about it today.
Yes.
We're always really eager to find something new to watch on Netflix. So your girls did what they do best. We started scrolling, looking at the menu. And if you know us, we love some music-based programming. So we ended up finding 2 really interesting shows, Hitmakers and Building the Band. We binged both series.
Yeah, pretty quickly, actually.
Pretty quickly. And then we decided, hey, we might as well do a whole episode on it. So this week's Soul Picks are all about Hitmakers and Building the Band.
We felt like not enough people are talking about these shows.
Yeah.
They're actually so good.
Yeah, so good.
And they both have really unique concepts. I think that's what was the big draw to these 2 shows.
Yes.
So our first soul pick is the show Hitmakers. It's a docu-reality series on Netflix, and it focuses on these seasoned songwriters who are known for making hits. So it's a group of them, and amongst them are Grammy winners and writers with top charting hits.
Yeah.
And they come together through 3 writers' camps, writing different songs for specific artists. So some of the artists include Usher, John Legend, Lisa from Blackpink, and Shabuzi as well. These are artists from different genres, but regardless of the genre, these writers were able to complete the task at hand, which is come up with hit songs.
It's a really interesting cast, and it's so great to see not only what they've offered, but just kind of see how their process is when it comes to building a song or writing a song.
Exactly.
So the list is really robust. So you have Seven Streeter, and she's well known, right, as an artist in her own right, but she's worked with the likes of Ariana Grande, Chris Brown, Ty Dolla $ign.
Yes.
You know, her pen game is very strong. Kelly Rowland even.
Yeah.
So it was so great to see her on this show.
We've always known her as an artist, you know, because she did have her own success as a solo artist, but to see her on this show and see her gifts as a songwriter and her pen game in real time, it was so impressive. And it gave me even more respect for her than we already had. So that was a really great addition to the show. There's also Ben Johnson, who's written for Jelly Roll, Charlie Puth, Weezer, Whitney Phillips, who has written for Justin Bieber, Celine Dion.
Which is crazy. Let's just pause for a second.
Celine Dion, our queen.
Yes.
Teddy Swims.
Then you have Trey Campbell, who's written for John Legend, Dua Lipa, and then you have Nova Wave. So prior to watching the show, I wasn't quite familiar with the duo, but they've worked on literally everything that we've ever loved.
Yes.
From working with Beyonce to Rihanna to Nicki to DJ Khaled to Tiana Taylor. The list
goes on and on. In the show, the Grammy that they won for Cuff It, just placed it on the table. Such a flex.
I know.
And Cuff It's actually one of our favorite songs on Renaissance. So it was nice to learn the contributors behind the song.
Yeah, exactly.
And then another duo, Jenna Andrews and Stephen Kirk.
Yes.
They are some hit makers.
Yes.
They worked with BTS, Sabrina Carpenter, Drake.
And for context, they're responsible for Butter, which is one of BTS's like biggest global hits.
Yes.
So that should just give you some context there. They actually are responsible for the music in Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
The music is actually on the charts,
the Billboard charts. So yes, they're working for artists, but they're even working for fictional artists, which is crazy. So that tells you how good they are at this game.
Truly.
Then you have Harv, who's a Grammy-nominated songwriter. He's worked with Justin Bieber, specifically Peaches, which I was just listening to as I was getting ready for this episode.
Yeah.
I didn't suggest it, it just popped up. I was like, that's kismet.
Yeah, no, truly. I'm like, what are the chances, right?
He's also worked with Summer Walker, Normani, I mean, countless others.
And then you have Tommy Brown, who is a vet in the game. He's had a hand in literally all of Ariana Grande's studio albums, and he even executive produced Positions.
Yeah.
In addition to working with Ariana Grande, he's also worked with Blackpink. He's responsible for their hit
ice cream.
So
The
again,
inescapable
yes.
ice cream.
So it's just cool to see that, these songwriters can literally write for anyone.
Yes.
And do it right. And then you have Jay Hart, who's also worked with Troye Sivan,
Yeah.
Camila Cabello, Justin Bieber as well.
Yes. A lot of them work with Justin Bieber.
Yes.
That is the overarching theme.
Justin and Ariana have definitely worked with a lot of these folks, which is really cool.
But it says a lot about who these writers are. They are seasoned.
Yes.
But what intrigued us the most about this show is that it gives us an inside look at their creative process, of course, but also how skilled these writers are.
Yes.
They were able to basically come out with fully fleshed, produced songs within a 6-hour time frame.
Yeah.
Each writing camp. I mean, that says a lot about the caliber of artists that are on this show.
Yeah.
Can you imagine trying to write a song, not even a hit song, just think about it.
Just anything.
A song in 6 hours and then have it fully produced and ready for sharing?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's kind of crazy. And I've always heard about the term like a writing camp, like whenever you hear interviews of artists talking about their process or songwriters specifically talking about their process. But what was so great about this series is that they kind of show you what it looks like in real time.
Yeah.
When you watch it, and to Ariam's point, only having less than 24 hours.
Yes.
Requires a level of creativity that we cannot even imagine. But then a level of confidence and belief in your ability to deliver something so good so quickly.
Yeah. And another thing about the show, for each song, you will work with a specific group of writers, but then for the next song, they shuffle it up and you end up working with new writers. Yeah. And sometimes you have that like instant chemistry with writers and it just flows and it works. And then other times you may work with the writer, but it's just not clicking. There's a little bit of like creative friction.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, they're always delivering their end product.
Yeah.
And it's really impressive.
I was blown away by those episodes and just kind of seeing that process. Being put in a position to flex your muscle is something.
Songwriters deserve so much credit.
More. So much more credit. And so much more money.
Because they're making the skeletons of a song, right? The foundation is the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then you add on production and other creative contributions. But they're just so valuable.
Yeah. And what was so great about the show, each episode, they're given a brief to create a song for X artist. And what's so interesting is kind of watching them break down what they foresee being a hit, right? So things that the average listener or consumer of music wouldn't really pick up on, they have these abilities to pick up on cues, whether it's identifying a tempo, identifying a theme, or knowing what catchy lyrics are going to be.
Specific
like what
wordplay.
Yeah, wordplay. Like what phrasing or what positioning of words or inflections are going to create a catchy feeling. So, we're just always on the receiving end as consumers of music, but just to kind of see them kind of work that out was really interesting. And another thing that I loved about the show was honestly the transparency about being in the industry and that journey and that career path. Like when Trey was talking about having made hit songs and having the opportunity to work with really big artists, but still struggling to make ends meet and like having to drive Uber. And I think it shined light on a larger issue to what you mentioned earlier about how artists, songwriters specifically, need to be making way more money. And they've contributed so much to culture and to the industry as a whole. It's a shame to hear that, you can be doing quote unquote well
and still be struggling in real life.
And so I hope it opens up a larger discussion around the industry and how songwriters are treated. Yeah. And also paid. Yeah. Quite frankly. Yeah. And then another thing that I thought was really interesting, when Whitney was talking about getting out of a relationship in the middle of the season, she talked about how being a songwriter is a very taxing job in terms of how your time is used, because you kind of have to make yourself available at the drop of a dime. You travel a lot. Yeah. You're meeting artists, you're in studios, you're working with labels. So, that demand can make it difficult to sustain a relationship. And she talked about that too. And I was like, wow, like I had never thought about that being a potential challenge. So
we've never had a show or an opportunity to see what it looks like for a songwriter's day to day. And I think that show really shine light on that.
Again, the show was so binge worthy. It was so good. All of the songs that you heard on each episode at the end of each writing camp session was actually so good.
So good.
I'm truly impressed by what they were able to capture in the series, and I hope it gets renewed, and I hope we get to see more seasons.
Yes.
Because music doesn't stop. There's always going to be a need to make music. So
yes.
I thought it was a really interesting concept, and it was a really great look into that world.
Yeah.
And second on our list of soul picks this week, we have to talk about Netflix's Building the Band.
Yes. Let's talk about it.
What a show. So again, to Ariam's point, I don't think enough people are talking about it. I think it's a really interesting show, especially for music lovers and people that love music competition shows. This is for you.
And we love music competition shows.
We are definitely the target audience for that.
Yes.
So for those who haven't watched it, the show, if I were to describe the show, it's essentially if Love is Blind and The Voice had a love child.
Yes.
That's what this show would be. They bring on 50 singers to build these bands. And so in the process of doing it, the way that these bands end up getting formed is that they do blind listens.
Yeah.
So everyone does their audition, quote unquote, on the platform, on a stage, but everyone else is simply listening to these voices.
Yeah.
And through those voices, each of these singers end up making their selections and pressing the button to give the artist the like to indicate that they want this person on their group, in their group. So it's like a really interesting way of building the group. And then once you've formed your group, the first time you actually see one another is when you perform on stage for the first time.
For the first time.
Like in real time.
Yeah.
Each member gets revealed. The veil, the curtain unfolds, or the curtain
raises.
The curtain rises. And each person gets revealed, and they're singing, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's how you look like!" Or
like, I've been hearing your voice, and now
the whole time. And so it's a really interesting concept, simply because it eliminates all of the pressure of judging somebody just based off of how they look. You really have to judge these people based off of their talent and what kind of sound you want for your group, what vision you have for your group. And it was just so interesting, and I had never seen anything like that, and it really gave each contestant choice. It gave them the ability to choose rather than unbiased, rather than having a judge or a third party kind of put you all together.
It's cool. It feels, to a degree, it feels like when you are building a band in real life, that feeling of, getting to know each other and connecting. But the whole sight unseen part is a really interesting aspect of the show. What we really loved about this show is how they really committed to the theme of the boy bands and girl groups throughout the setup of the show. So the show is hosted by AJ McLean from Backstreet Boys.
Icon
and
right only
there.
Only
fitting. And he did amazing, by the way.
He's a great host.
I enjoyed him. Really.
He was great.
And then you have the lead mentor, Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls. And she's also a judge on the show as well. So she definitely has the chops for this role.
Yes.
And then you have the queen, the icon, the legend that is Kelly Rowland.
Yes, ma'am.
From the Destiny's Child. I mean, it doesn't get more certified than that.
No, truly.
So she's on there as well as a judge. And then we also have the late Liam Payne, who was also a judge and also well known for his career in One Direction. It was bittersweet to see him on there because this was the last project that he was a part of before his untimely passing. But it was such a great way to immortalize him because you can tell he really enjoyed his time on there.
He did.
He was a really wonderful judge.
Yeah, for sure. What was so great about the series is that every single judge and host were qualified to be in the room.
Absolutely.
Right? They were able to really give valuable and impactful feedback because they've been in these contestants' shoes. Who better to mentor these groups than people that have actually experienced it? And it was so interesting even hearing their feedback from their perspective, because you wouldn't think about all the things that they were calling out, right? When you're thinking about stage presence and vocal blending and even costume cohesion, like all of these great pieces of feedback that they were calling out, they were like, these pieces go a long way in building a story for a band. Regardless of your sound, regardless of your aesthetic, or or whatever it is that you're aiming for.
It's like the things you don't think about.
The things you don't think about as a consumer because if they feel so natural, but they've been in the process of building that out.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting.
And I thought it was really great to see Liam give them his feedback because he has been in that very specific position before.
Right.
He auditioned for a singing competition, but also the way that One Direction was formed, it was formed in real time.
Yeah.
So the viewers were watching them assemble this boy band and they were becoming a sensation in real time.
Yeah.
And he, out of all of them, can really relate because, you know, Destiny's Child, they were formed before they got famous.
Yes.
And it's a different process and it's
Yeah.
a very different experience.
Same with Backstreet Boys. Like
Yeah.
a lot of those groups, they were formed before they got signed.
Exactly.
So they had the time to build chemistry and really have choice in who was going to be in the group. So he, I'm sure, out of all the judges, could relate to this talent the most. And I feel like the talent really appreciated hearing from him.
His feedback that I really loved was that when one of the groups got eliminated, he said, "You all did a great job. And just remember, One Direction came in third in X Factor. They never actually won. So look at the success that One Direction
I forget that.
got.
I didn't even know that they didn't win until he revealed
I didn't know that either.
I was like, wait, what?
I was like, oh, I'm sure they won.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
No, that's how big they were. And I think that gave the contestants a certain level of encouragement.
Yeah.
Just hearing that from him. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Talent is undeniable.
It was touching to see him really be so generous with these hopefuls. All around, really great show when it came to judges and their relationship with the talent.
Yeah.
So it's time for us to talk about our favorites coming out of the
Yes.
group.
Yes.
The winners of the show ended up being a trio, Frequency. And congratulations to them. I think it's really exciting that a girl group won.
Yes.
But our personal favorites were actually in the top 3. So we want to talk a little bit about them.
Yeah, it was a stiff competition.
It was
towards the
very,
end.
very stiff.
Yeah.
Like, very stiff. So let's start with season 4.
Yes.
Season 4, I think I can argue like that they might be our favorite,
I think
our
so,
personal
too.
favorites out of the entire series. These 4 are true vocalists. I'm still recovering from their cover of Somebody That I Used to Know.
Whew.
It was so good.
It literally gave me chills.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've heard so many people cover that song. But the way that they arranged it,
Yeah.
it was stellar.
Yeah. And it's on streaming, and raise your hand if you've downloaded it. I have. Safe space. Their version of the song was so powerful, and I think when they did that specific performance, it really like set them apart from all of their competition.
Yeah, and that was the first moment where all of the bands were seeing the bands individually perform for the first time.
Yeah.
And you can just tell those contestants were like stunned.
Yeah.
As well as me.
Yeah.
I was watching it like
they were gagged and so were we. Like it was just
Exactly.
like, whoa, like they're really talented. And what's so great about this group is that it's a group of 4 vocalists. They all have very distinct sounds when they sing as individuals, but their ability to come together and make a sound that really does feel seamless and harmonious was
works.
so crazy to witness in real time.
Yeah.
Their vocal blending, you would have
Unmatched.
thought that they've been singing since they were in diapers. Like they
Together, yeah.
sounded so smooth and stunning. Stunning.
And specifically with season 4, they were the only mixed group. So all
Yes.
the other groups in the competition were either boy bands or girl groups.
Mhm.
And I think their main focus amongst the 4 of them was that, do we sound good together?
Mhm.
I don't think it matters who the members are, but
Mhm.
what we sound like. And it really paid off.
Yeah, completely. This was proof that this experiment works. What I also loved so much about season 4 is that they really did showcase their ability to sing different genres of music.
Yeah.
And their song selections were really interesting. They sang anything from Anita Baker's Sweet Love to Human by Rag and Bone
Yeah.
Man. So I just think with every song that they performed, they truly killed it.
Yeah. They're
There
unstoppable.
was no doubt in my mind that they were gonna win.
Yeah.
But they didn't win. But I can definitely say that they were our
Yeah.
favorites.
Yes.
For
yes,
sure.
By far. They
By
were
far.
so great.
10 out of 10.
So our other favorites of the show
Mhm.
solidified Wow.
Solidified was so good.
So good, honey.
Mhm.
So
So
good.
good.
They were an R&B boy band that absolutely killed it. Killed it. 4 very strong vocalists
Mm-hmm.
that were R&B heavy,
Yeah.
which we are some R&B girlies.
Yes,
So we
truly are.
appreciated all of their song selections
Mm-hmm.
from Usher's You Remind Me.
Yeah.
That was their first song that they performed as a group in front of everyone.
Mm-hmm. It's a specific Usher song.
Yeah.
You know?
Those runs in that song
Are crazy. Because it's up tempo, but then the runs are crazy.
Yes.
So you're like, oh my God, I was a little nervous.
That's why I was nervous. And during their performance, now Nicole is a mentor for all of the contestants. However, during this specific performance, Nicole got up from her chair and was dancing, jamming out like it was a private concert, honey.
Yes. She was fanning out.
Yeah. As were we.
She was fanning out like we were.
She was the physical representation of what we were experiencing.
No, for real. She couldn't even keep it together. She's like, this is good.
It is. The
runs are running.
Yes. The runs were running, honey. And
the blends are blending.
They sounded like they've been a group for years.
Mm-hmm.
They also did Tevin Campbell's Can We Talk?
Yeah. Which is very bold.
It is.
When I heard they were going to do it, I was like, wait, you're going to do this? Like, this is a risky song. Because if you do it, you got to kill it.
And this is what I love about them. They were not afraid.
Yeah.
They were not afraid to tackle any song.
And they killed it. And it also shows that they're real students of the genre.
That's true.
Because their song selections, I was like, oh, what you know about?
Because they did do some modern songs.
You know, like
they did do modern songs, but it was nice to see them pay homage to the 90s and the early 2000s songs that we grew up with. So we're biased and we love those songs.
Yes. I even love their version of Miguel's Sure Thing.
Yes.
Because that's actually my favorite Miguel song. And they killed it.
Yeah. The writing on that song is so good.
The wordplay, the melody, everything. And
what I loved about the group is that, yes, they're a boy band, but they have 4 really strong vocalists. Either one of them can hold their own during a solo. It's not like one person is what they lean on as the lead vocalist.
Yes.
No, talent was equally distributed amongst the group.
Absolutely.
And they were just so in flow. Their harmonies were just perfect, really perfect. And to me, when I saw them on stage and when they were doing their group performances, I was like, they look like a real boy band.
They do. They do.
Like, they don't look like they just formed like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Within the show, of course. But
and
I
think
so
they could really have an impact.
Yeah.
Like, I think they could really keep doing this.
Yeah, because I think there's a need right now. We don't really have R&B boy bands right now.
Yeah.
They were so adorable. The outfits, the cohesion, everything was there.
Fly.
It read boy band to me.
In the best way.
Yeah. And although our faves did not win the competition, I am pretty sure they're going to have a successful career outside of the show because the talent is undeniable amongst these groups. Both of these shows were such a joy to watch.
Truly.
And if you haven't seen it, hopefully we've sparked your interest and you'll go check it out on Netflix today, tomorrow, whenever you can. And if you have seen it, let us know what you think.
Do you agree with our thoughts?
Yes.
Do you disagree? We are curious to know.
And that wraps up today's episode.
It sure does. It was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
Yeah, I'm inspired. I wish I could sing, but I'm glad I'm glad I can't. I would never shut up.
No,
it's got to be yapping or singing.
Yeah,
it can't be both.
One or the other.
Can't be both.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a really great episode.
If you guys like what you heard, you can keep up with us on our socials at DEUXSOL. That's at deuxsol. You can watch us on YouTube and Spotify, and you can listen to us on Revolt Podcast Network, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. If you can hear it, we'll be on it. And till next time, guys.
Peace.